for a second. That was something that, I mean, obviously I'm never ever going to forget. But it was unbelievable from the beginning, and you know, the guys did a great job being able to really make it in a way kind of relaxing for me, because they were able to you know, get on the board early and keep scoring runs, and there's nothing better than that when the guys go out there and do that.
Matt, at what point did you start thinking, hey, there's something going on here? When did it enter your mind?
Well, I mean, I know if I haven't given up a hit, you know, the first inning or the second inning, you know, I'm always kind of conscious of it, and but I felt like probably the first time through the lineup, I felt like I had good stuff, and I was locating the ball where I wanted to, and you know, me and Buster were on page the whole night, and I felt like probably the first time through the lineup, I felt like something, you know, could happen.
Gregor, could you talk about that catch? Obviously, the big play of the game.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Our coaches told me that Justin Jordan Schaefer play a little bit more to the gap, and I guess everybody was keep telling me like, what are you doing playing right there? He didn't bad. He told me, what are you doing playing right there? I was just playing a little bit to the gap. I guess I used my legs and I'm trying to catch the ball. Like he say, I was aware on what's going on. He have a great catch in left field also, and I said to myself, you know what? If that ball it's gonna hit over there, you better catch it. You know, you better be on that ball, and I did. It feels really good.
What are you doing there?
Matt, having gone into the 7th inning 5 other times, 5 previous times with no hitters, did that experience help you get through this thing?
I mean, kind of, but not really. You know, I've had some opportunities in the past, but there's really nothing like it. You know, I mean, you get deep into the game like that, and then that was the, you know, kind of defining play is he makes that play in the beginning of the 7th inning, and then I've still got to get 2 more outs, and the place is going crazy. And I was literally having to recheck myself to be able to see the signs that Buster was putting down, because it was so much adrenaline, so much stuff going on. You know, I was, in a way, probably overthrowing some changeups. You know, I could look up there and I was throwing them harder than I wanted to, but it worked out.
Matt, Gregor obviously saved the perfect game with that catch, but how relieved were you when he hit that home run to get you off the base path?
I mean, that was great. You know, it seems like sometimes when I've been on the bases, I've been having to try to break up double plays for him to stay on first for me. You know, so I was just hoping that, you know, he did something and, you know, I could get off the bases as quick as possible or whatever. But, you know, that was actually very beneficial. I really probably didn't think of it that much, but to think back on it, I mean, to be able to, you know, just kind of come back in that inning and have still 3 outs, to be able to kind of sit and relax and try to refocus is always going to help.
Did the last few innings at all feel like the World Series, or how did it compare to the World Series?
You know what? Honestly, I was thinking about it, and you know what? It felt like the World Series, but it almost felt a little bit louder, a little bit crazier. I mean, every strike they were going nuts for. It was truly amazing. I mean, I've never had that much excitement in every pitch, every strike, every swing. Just, you know, I mean, you know, Ted Barrett back there, you know, some pitches just off the corner, and he's calling them right, and you know, he's got to hear the whole crowd. I mean, that's got to be a lot of stress on him, and he did a great job back there. You know, he was consistent with everything. He called, you know, a lot of strikes that were, you know, on the plate, and he stayed the same way the whole night. He didn't change a bit.
Buster, Bruce and now King give you a lot of credit, obviously, for your job. But yourself, from your perspective, what was so special about Matt tonight?
Well, I think Kainer said it. He felt good the first time through the lineup, and you know, all year he's had great stuff. And to me, his fastball was just really jumping tonight. It had extra life on it, and. You know, he just threw all 4 pitches whenever he wanted to. I think one of the big at-bats was Lowry, and to end the 7th, you know, 3-2 count, and he throws a changeup and there's no hesitation. And, you know, I couldn't be happier for him.
Buster, going to follow up. You talk about the pressure on Matt in the last 2-3 innings. A lot of pressure on you the last 2 or 3 days. How were you dealing with it?
I was as nervous as I've ever been on a baseball field. Not gonna lie. It's a different type of nervousness than in the World Series or playoffs. Because you want so much to to put the right pitch down, but ultimately, this is a guy making the pitches, and what I tried to do was just be confident in everything I called and not deviate from what I'd done the entire game.
Matt, that ball that Snyder hit, Bruce said he thought it was gone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you thought too?
Oh, yeah.
What were you thinking when you saw it flying through the air?
I mean, I thought it was a home run. I think we all did. I know he barreled it up. I don't know if he got just a little bit under it or if something happened. If wind, came off of the glove and just pushed that back. I mean, but, coming in and Pagan goes, it literally looked like that ball went up and then was coming down and came back into the field of play. And Melky was able to come back and, kind of bring it back down and catch it off the wall a little bit. But I have no idea why that ball stayed in the park.
Matt, have you thought about what it'll be for some of your teammates? Dinner, Rolexes, Harleys?
Right. I mean, that's what I was asking. I was like, Blanco, I mean, what do you want? I mean, he's, and I mean, the same with Buster. I mean, this is unbelievable. This is obviously awesome, and I can't explain what these two guys and the rest of the guys, kind of did to make this happen. And it definitely was not it definitely was not just me. I mean, running down balls, hitting home runs, making plays. It was an all-out effort tonight. Everybody did a lot of work, and it turned out perfect, and it was awesome.
Matt, someone asked you about to compare this game to the World Series. How did that champagne bath feel when the guys came out of the clubhouse? How did that compare to the World Series?
That was good. I mean, it was. I think the only thing that was different was probably the one in for the World Series. I think we kind of kept that one going. I think we had more bottles of champagne to kind of pass around and be able to, crush everybody with those. But that was good. I did make a bad mistake and opened my eyes and got some in there, so that was bad. But it was. I mean, who wouldn't want to have champagne, beer, Red Bull, whatever it was, poured on you on the field? I mean, that was awesome.
Matt, Blanco made the great play, but can you talk about Arias getting moved over in the 2 plays he made at third that were the tough plays?
Yeah, he's played tremendous defense behind me ever since kind of Pablo went out, and then for him, to kind of get moved over and to make a play. He had one ground ball in the first inning or something, and then he makes a run through play that's not easy, and then he makes the last play of the game that was the funky hop, and he did a great job of being able to somehow that ball finding his glove and then be able to kind of set his feet and throw it to first, and that obviously was the topping of it to be able to make that play.
Matt, back to the 2 outfield plays. The 3 outfield guys have been doing it all year, making big plays. You basically have 3 center fielders out there. How big is it for this pitching staff to have that kind of security blanket and know that they can just run down basically any type of fly ball? I mean, there's nothing better to know that you've got 3 guys that have tremendous speed in the outfield to be able to run down any fly ball that goes up in the air and stays in the air long enough. You feel like those guys are going to have a good chance to run it down. And obviously we play in a pitcher-friendly ballpark, so if it stays in the air high long enough with these guys' speed, more than likely they're going to run it down. And there's nothing better than having 3 of those guys out there to be able to do that for you.
Matt, you came up to the plate in the 8th, 10-0 lead, perfect game going. A lot of pitchers in that situation would have just stood there, taken 3 strikes, and gone back to the bench. You swung away, busted it down the line. Is that just not the kind of player you are?
I mean, I don't know. It's something that I'm looking to try to get a hit there. That's it is something that I kind of want to do. I want to be able to get a hit in that situation. But I guess it worked out right that if being able to get a ground ball out in 3 or 4 pitches and then again, go back and sit down. So. I guess that was supposed to be that I was supposed to get out that way.
Matt, 22 perfect games in Major League history. The last guy to do it with 14 strikeouts was Sandy Koufax. What's it like to be named with that guy?
I don't know. I mean, it's, you get put in any sentence with Sandy Koufax. It's tremendous. To be able to kind of be used in the same sentence. I mean, there's not much to be said. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's awesome to be able for that to be even mentioned. And it's something that I'm glad you guys tell me because obviously, Bagley, you're the stat guy. You're going to tell us everything, so that's good for us to be able to know those things.
Matt, speaking of the strikeouts, you've always been kind of a pitch to contact guy and getting quick outs and stuff. So what was happening tonight that was different that you had all the strikeouts?
I don't know. I think a lot of it was, it seemed like we threw a lot of the, our location was good on a lot of pitches when we were ahead in the count. We were definitely getting ahead in the count early and being able to put those guys on the defensive side. So I was trying to make those guys aggressive, and we were ahead in a lot of accounts. And when you get yourself in a situation, sometimes it works out to where you can get a lot of strikeouts, or you can get, some ground balls out of it or something.
Are you going to hit golf balls into McCovey Cope before every start now?
I don't know. Am I Larry?
I love it right now. Buster, were Houston's hitters saying anything or muttering anything or whatever? Did they have much of a reaction as they were coming up, or was it just pretty quiet, all business, that sort of thing?
No, there wasn't much of anything. No. No good story, sorry.
Matt, when you woke up this morning, or before you got to the park, anything at all that gave you any kind of inkling that you might do this today?
No, no. It's a good try though, but no. I mean, when you wake up, I've got to worry about my little crazy 1.5-year-old right now. So that's good for me because it gets me to not, waste energy trying to focus on the game and stuff like that. So I kind of get to relax and try to figure out what she's thinking, which is not easy. So I was able to kind of do that, and we were just hanging out. Went to eat. We eat breakfast at Townsend today, and after that we went over to the dog park and just kind of hung out and let Hartley just kind of do whatever and played around for a little while, and then came to the park like normal. I mean, it wasn't anything, nothing out of the ordinary.
Back to the strikeouts for a second. I think your previous career high was 12. You set that in 2006. I think you were, 21 years old? Could you just tell us a little bit about how you changed the pitcher from then to now?
I'm going to try to throw as hard as possible and hope that nobody hits it at that point in my career. And now I feel like at times I'm trying to do that. I want to be able to throw the ball as hard as I can, but I feel like I'm a little more relaxed and kind of have an idea more of my mechanics and what my body's doing, and able to control myself a little bit more. Than when I was 21. I was kind of more of, I'm going to try to throw it hard as possible and see if you guys can hit it. And I think it just maturing.
Matt, when something momentous happens, you guys win a World Series, pitch a perfect game, the thought is it takes a while for it to sink in. One, has it sunk in? And two, what time do you think you'll get to bed tonight?
I don't know. Hopefully sometime before we have to come back to the field tomorrow, because the day game, we got to work out and do everything else. Carl, I know, is not going to take it easy on me. He's just going to make me do the same stuff as normal. So, I have no idea what time I'll go to bed. And when it will set in, it's probably starting to a little bit, but it's going to take a while. I think it definitely will take a while. I know it definitely did with the World Series. I don't think we really kind of started realizing what happened until almost, for me, it might have been almost the next spring training. It took a while.
Hey Buster, Matt has been kind of under the radar nationally for various reasons, and I mean right now this is happening, it's like 2 a.m. in the East Coast. What would you say to baseball fans around the country about what this guy can do?
He's one of the best arms in the game. I'm lucky to get to work with him every 5th day and stay up late and watch him whenever you can.
Gregor, even if that catch didn't save a perfect game, was that the best catch of your career regardless?
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people say it's been the greatest catch they ever seen, and for me it was, it was a big deal. It was a big deal right there, and in that moment, and all we trying to do, me and Angel and Melky, is giving confidence to these guys to do what he did today, and right there in that moment, we know what's going on, and we have a good communication in the outfield, and we did it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so obviously Gregor